It's warfare now. All right, guys, welcome back. I'm Dan. Thanks for stopping by. We have Cyberwarfare from Arvon Brewing Company. I love the name. That's pretty wild, if you ask me. Futuristic. We have an 8.5% West Coast style double IPA with Mosaic, Galaxy, and Cashmere hops. Arvon uses these very typically, especially the Cashmere. I see more and more these days. December 5th is the can-on date, so we are about a month out time of recording, so that is what it is. Standard painting, water painting from Arvon. I like it. We see new beer, I grab new beer. It's Arvon for you, baby. So again, woo, big pop. That was wild. It's all over the place. I like that Arvon explores outside of their norm, which was always hazy and sours. They do India Pale Lagers, Marzens, whatever, German beer. They're doing West Coast beer. Dude, it's a double West Coast. Let's dive in. Let's see what we got. I dig it. Michigan glassware. Let's go for it. Pouring it up. So let's see what we got, guys. I don't know. I love West Coast beer. But it's hard to transition. Sometimes you go for the hazy, sometimes you go for the West Coast, sometimes you go back and forth. I'm somewhere in between right now. I'm okay with either one, but I typically like your standard IPA or maybe closer to your West Coast beer. I do prefer it. So super creamy head. Wow. Creamy, dense head. And you got that dark little amber copper vibe going on. You guys can see it. Again, always darker on camera than what I'm seeing. Very good carbonation streaming to the top. That is a wildly dense head. And we do have this coming in around $5.99. So pretty good. That's usually what you get Arvon beers for. They're going to be about $5, $6 for a can. This one's 8.5%, so pretty good value in here, I would say. But let's taste it before we decide. And before we taste it, let's go for an aroma through this dense, pillowy head. Dude. Wow, it's very fruity. But it's also like very malty as well. It's usually one or the other. I'll pick one up. It's both like they both are together like perfectly. Super fruity, like Lucky Charms and Fruity Pebbles, and I've smelled this before. This smells like a beer that I've had at like Stonehound in Traverse City. This smells like a wild big beer. Like it's very fruit forward and almost syrupy and kind of malty at the same time, but the fruity sweetness sticks out immensely. I don't even know what to call that, man. It just smells like freaking cereal. Like I don't know what to say. I'm just diving in. Cyberwarfare, guys. Let's check it out. Cheers. Yeah. Bigger mouthfeel, 8.5%. West Coast for sure. That maltiness coming out pretty significantly. So it is showing itself on the aroma, and it does come out in the taste as well. It's almost like a thicker, fruity, syrupy sweetness that comes out. That slight, almost biscuity cereal maltiness that's kind of interwoven together, guys. It's very abundant through the middle, I would say, and the fruitiness is still there. It's sweet on the front end, and I have to decipher what I'm getting on the back. Fruity Pebbles, Lucky Charms, juicy tangerine, like super overripe, just falling apart, juicy flesh of the fruit tangerine, coupled with a little bit of lemon, maybe a little lemon lime kind of put in there as well. It's wacky, man. I wouldn't expect so much fruit coming on the West Coast. That's just insane. Back end, there's a little bit of like berries too, like berry sweetness and then bitterness on the back end. So it's almost like strawberry and blueberry coupled together through the middle, adding to that kind of cereal sweetness that I'm getting. I'm going to say maybe the Mosaic is playing a part in this. But the back end's pretty tamed. It does try to round out a little bit. It gives you that nice burst of bitterness. Maybe a kiss of floral on the back end as well, but it tries to dry out the best that it can. But it is so sweet and fruity on the beginning. It's just that it's wild that it can even try to round out on the back end because it's so abruptly sweet and fruity in the front. But the maltiness is kind of like the second thing you notice. So it's that fruity sweetness, the multi-layer cereal maltiness, a little bit of biscuity malt, ever so slight. And then you're hit with like that berry kind of drying, bittering, a little bit of pine sweetness that ends up rounding out to be dry on the back end. It's bizarre. It's quite bizarre. The maltiness is giving me the old school West Coast vibes for sure. It's a lot of malt driven in here to get the ABV up to 8.5%. So that is why it's probably on the sweeter side if I had to guess. But they do a semi-solid job of drying it out. It's good. It's good, man. Like, I'll remember this one. It's different. It's super West Coasty with just a burst of syrupy fruitiness that just comes across very sweet. But again, rounded out very well. Pretty damn drinkable, too. It's different, man. It's just different. A little sweet for my liking. I will say it's a little bit sweet for my liking. I'd like a little bit more dryness or piney herbaceousness, and I'm not really getting that as much. It's just trying to curtail the back end with that huge sweetness in the front. So it's good. I dig it. I'm not going to lose my mind over it. It's a nice West Coast beer with a twist. I'm going to go 3.9 out of 5. It's good, man. It's just different and unique. So that's where I stand today. Thanks for being here, guys. It's been a Cyberwarfare from Arvon. I'll catch you on the next review. Cheers.